Shalom, family. I'm going to play a little music to give people an opportunity to come in. It's good to see you all. I just have an update, and I'm sure many of you probably already heard the update. So I'm going to play the music and then I'll come back and we'll get right into it. Shalom, family. Shalom. Okay. Let me stop sharing. I hope everybody is doing well. I think this settlement should go down in lawsuit history. He settled in under 24 hours. Diddy settled in under 24 hours. This is definitely lawsuit history right here. So, no, I mean, Jay Karma, it doesn't But in Diddy's case, I certainly believe it. I can't even begin to tell you the horrible things I have heard about P. Diddy over the last few decades. And when you hear entertainers that was signed to his label tell you they weren't paid or they had to fight for their money, no, I believe it. I believe it. You know, let's face it, Diddy built his entire empire off of screwing people over. Let's be real, because that is the truth. Now, the last time I did a video on him, I had some people mad because you got to understand, no matter what this man does, he got die-hard fans. Okay. Yes, I know. I posted the link to the affidavit in the description box. If you looked at the video, you could have cut and paste and put it in, you know, your URL where you put your addresses. Mhm. Yeah. And I'm just telling y'all, he built his entire empire on screwing over a lot of people, a lot. And he's one of many, but the bottom line is what Cassie said about him, I don't have no problem believing it. Now, I know some people, oh, we don't know if it's true or not. I may not have physically seen it, but from what I heard about him over the years, it sure adds up. That's for sure. It adds up to many of the other rotten things I've heard about him. Even that show, Making the Band, I heard a lot of those people that were on the show got screwed over by him as well. Heard that over the years too. So in his case, yeah, he settled it because if this thing would have went to trial, do you know what kind of stuff would have came out in that courtroom? Do you know how many witnesses they could have possibly have gotten? Oh, he didn't want that out because if it would have went into federal court, I think his goose would have been cooked at that point. He had his hands tied in this situation and he had to do something. He had to do something. But see, it's kind of a double-edged sword when you really think about it, y'all. It's a double-edged sword because of how fast he settled this whole thing. He may be enticed, or others may be enticed to come after him legally since he's settling everything so fast, especially people that he had under contract and he did not pay. You know what I mean? It may send an avalanche of lawsuits in his direction because they're like, wait, he settled that in under 24 hours. Well, he did this, and this to me. Shoot, I'm going after him too. Yeah, wasn't it 100 million, Sheila Davis? $100 million? Oh no, you don't shell out that kind of money and it's just so people can go away. No, you got something to hide. You in fact, you got a lot to hide. There's a lot of skeletons in that closet. You can best believe it. Mhm. Oh yeah. Yeah, you going to see a lot of shady people like him come out of the woodwork in these final days. So let's get into the story. Go ahead and share again. Please give me a 1 if you can see the screen. Give me a 1 if you can see the screen. Well, here's why I don't care for Diddy. Number 1, like I told y'all the last time I brought him up, he was never a favorite of mine. Even back in the 90s, when he was rapping then, I I I was never feeling him at all as an artist. I was never feeling him. Number 2, the reason why I don't care for him is because this dude never had an issue with screwing over his own people. When I see folks like that, I don't care how much how much I loathe them. I loathe people like him that will take advantage of people within his own community and screw them over. I don't have to respect your ass. If that's the kind of stuff you do, I don't have to respect you at all. Screw that. I don't have to respect nobody like that, and I won't. So let's get into the story that came out not that long ago. So now I'm seeing online $100 million is what he settled for. But, of course, they're going to tell you what's undisclosed. So singer Cassandra Ventura, which is also known under her entertainment legal, her name Cassie. We all know her as Cassie. She reached a settlement just one day after bringing a federal lawsuit in New York against musician and entrepreneur Sean Diddy Combs, in which she accused him of rape and, physical violations during their relationship. This is according to her attorney. So he confirmed there was definitely a settlement. I've decided to resolve this matter on terms that I have some level of control. I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support. This is what Cassie said in a statement. We have decided to resolve this matter, Combs said in his own statement. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Now, Cassie is married and she has 2 children now. I believe she married a year after she split from Diddy. So anyway, the terms are not disclosed, but from what I understand, she ended up getting more than what she was asking for. The complaint was filed Thursday and it would describe 54-year-old Combs as vicious, cruel, and a controlling man who asserted control over Miss Ventura's personal and professional life and detailed all kinds of violations that he inflicted on her in 2005 when the singer was 19 years old. They started dating off and on from 2007 to 2018. And I believe the man that she's with, she married him in 2019. So after years in silence and darkness, I finally ready to tell my story, to speak up on behalf of myself and the benefit of other women. So we know what she said. I have seen that in other articles. So of course he denied everything. It talks about in 2012 when Kid Cudi's car was blown up because she was briefly dating him back in 2012 and the car got blown up. So Diddy denied everything and said it was blackmail. I mean, every time somebody comes after you with a lawsuit, it's not always blackmail. I mean, I know people say those things, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's blackmail. And I just don't see him forking over this kind of money. And if it was blackmail, shouldn't he have taken her to court or gone through the trial to prove to the courts that it was blackmail? That's why I don't believe it was blackmail at all. I don't believe that. I mean, you can believe what you want. I do not believe this was any blackmail. If it was, wouldn't you want to go before a jury to prove that she's blackmailing you? Well, he didn't want to do that at all. He settled this because Number one, he wanted it to go away. Number two, he wanted it to go away quickly because it will potentially bring other people out against him. And so, y'all, do not be shocked. In the coming weeks, you see more people coming after Sean Diddy Combs. That's what it's going to entice people to do. Mhm. Well, she's at least not, "Oh, I'm gonna come out with a tell-all book." I mean, she most certainly can now with all the money she got. She can come out with all the tell-all books she wants, movies and everything else. But I'm sure in whatever disclosure there was, I bet you he had in there that she can no longer bring this whole thing up again. I bet that was in there. That was probably part of the disclosure. I mean, that's kinda common sense. If he doesn't want this to go to trial, he certainly don't want it coming out at a future date either. Well, they still can root tracks. I mean, they still can come after him criminally. He settled with her. He didn't settle with investigators. I mean, they can still come after him if that's what they choose to do, as long as there's enough evidence for them to do it. Yeah, I mean, when she first started working for him, remember he had that Sean John collection of clothes? She was a model for Sean John. That's how she came on the scene, not as a singer. She came on the scene as a model. The singing did not come until a few years later. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, look, it's been looking bad for him. It was what, 3 weeks ago when Keefe D got arrested and named him in court as a culprit, and then he had to come out whining all in the media saying that it wasn't true. I mean, isn't amazing no matter what somebody says about Sean Diddy Combs, it's always not true. And then here you got less than a month later, you got Cassie out here, but she got paid. She got paid. So, trust me, this ain't gonna be the last story you hear about Diddy. You can best believe that. You can rest assured there are many people right now in the cut, probably that's gonna come at him real soon. So, y'all, that's all I wanted to do was update you on this story. I have 2 more live streams coming up, and I sure hope y'all can be here for those live streams. I know one is our Bible study. That's at 3:45. And at 2:30, I'm gonna be doing the story on, the general consulate of Israel saying the problem is the Black youth. So I hope you all can be here for that live stream as well. And that one's at 2:30. So everybody, please enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to see you soon. Yeah, I can't wait either, Kat. It's a lot of things coming out, and I think that we're going to be surprised by some of the things that are coming out. I know that meeting is not new. It was back in 2018. But you know what it does prove? We stay in their minds rent free, not just here in the US, but worldwide, apparently. On a worldwide scale, we stay in their minds 24/7 for real. That's what it does show. Shalom, family.